Hey guys, it's Eric, owner of Farpoint Farms here in the mountains, North Carolina, and today, sorry if the compressor is a little background noise here. I don't know if y'all can hear that, hopefully not. Anyway, today, Husqvarna TS354D garden tractor, getting this thing ready for spring. It's only a week or two away at the time of filming. One of the things I have done is purchase some brand new ag tires for this. So it comes with these turf savers. Now on the rear, I need better traction, so I'm going to go ahead and install these. These are pretty aggressive, super extra grip, it says on here, and these are D-stones or D-stones. They are directional, so you'll want to make sure you mount them on the same thing. I will be putting these on using the Harbor Freight tire changer, the manual tire changer, so I'll show you all how to do that in a separate video. But I'm also doing this, very hilly property, and I'm going to be adding wheel weights, which you can't really see in the picture, right over there. I got a set of used garden tractor wheel weights, but I have this here. These are 2-inch wheel spacers, and so the idea here is that if you were to space these tires farther away from the body, you add extra stability. If we hold our hands close together and try to hold something up, it can teeter-totter. The wider apart we put our hands, the more stable the load. It's the same thing with a tractor like this. So on going across steep hills or holding a load, because I am going to be putting a loader, a front-end loader on this thing, that when I'm carrying a load, you want to have that extra width and extra stability. So if you're interested in getting the most out of your Husqvarna garden tractor, this is probably the video to watch. This is going to upgrade this thing from what would be considered a heavy-duty garden tractor to an extra heavy-duty garden tractor. I don't know. But if you're looking to do more with your garden tractor than what it's capable from the factory, this whole series is kind of the one you want to be watching, so you might want to subscribe on that. But let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and jack the rear of this thing up. We'll take off the existing tires. I'll set those aside. I'll get the camera close up. We'll install these, and then I will make a video with the Harbor Freight tire changer showing you how to mount and back mount that. I'm not into balance, but just dismount and mount these new tires on there. Come back over here and get them set up, and that'll wrap up this video. Okay, so I'm going to use just regular pump jack back here. I'm going to set it up right on the pan of the transmission, and I'll go ahead and jack this up. Just a little bit off the ground, so these wheelies are free. And it is a 16mm socket. Got my 1/2-inch impact gun. You can do this by hand, but if you do this by hand, you do want to take these and break them loose while it's on the ground. I'll go ahead and lay that out of the way. Oh, our little dust cap came off. We don't want that. So as far as installing this, well, it's fairly straightforward. This one, instead of having lug bolts, has lug studs. That's okay. They both work the same way. I'll go ahead and line this up. So the pattern, as you can see, the hub face is actually not that far off at all. In fact, it's within a 1/4 inch or so, I would say. And I'm going to take my 16. Sometimes, depending on the manufacturer, it can be a little snug to get the socket in there. You might have to use a non-impact socket. I'm going to try it with this. Is it working? So let me go get a non-impact 16, and that's going to be a thinner wall than the impact socket. Allows us to get in there a little easier. When you get this started, you don't want to tighten this thing all the way down, or it might get a little offset. So I recommend starting all of them, then you can go around and tighten this up as needed. Okay, once we got all of them started, then go ahead and tighten them down. And that's it. It's not that difficult at all, is it? So there's my 2-inch spacers. Now when that wheel sits on, it's going to stick out a little bit farther from the body of this thing. But it's going to give it a much more aggressive stance, and that's going to give it extra stability. In fact, I'll go ahead and take a picture before I take the other side off. And before I switch the tire over to Ag Tire, just to show you just how much this thing's going to be sticking out and how much of an improvement that's going to make on the stability of this vehicle. Okay? All right, sometimes the best laid plans don't work out. So apparently I wasn't recording or lost files. I don't know. You know, cameras are finicky beasts. But here it is. It's all finished up. You can see the tires are now offset that full 2 inches. That wider stance is what you want, especially if you're working on steep inclines and slopes like I have here at our farm. And so giving it that wider stance, I've created more stability. It looks good, it's functional, and it was really inexpensive. The Ag tires being about $100, $105 shipped, which is significantly more than they were 5 years ago, the last time I bought a set of these. The wheel weights, which add a lot of stability as well. You want as much weight as low to the ground as possible for using these kind of tractors on hills. That also was inexpensive because I actually bought it as part of a used tractor. Got a bunch of equipment off that tractor, so that's going to turn out to be free. The wheel spacers themselves, they're the same spacers that fit a Jeep Cherokee, for those of you who are looking online to find which ones would fit. Now these spacers will also work on Kubota BS series tractors, so that's kind of another thing. I know Brotec sells ones that are like $200 or $300, which is a giant ripoff, by the way, Brotec, but you can get the same thing on Amazon for about $29.99 with free shipping, and I recommend you do that instead. At Jeep Grand Cherokee or Jeep Cherokee, it's the same wheel pattern. So there it is. If you have any questions about this or just questions in general about what you can and can't do with garden tractor, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'll see you next time. Take care.
There's always something that needs a little fixing on Farpoint Farms. Freedom is mighty sweet.